What's up, my PT peeps? One-Eye Bri back to talk about The Walking Dead Season 7, Episode 4, titled Service. Spoiler warning for the episode. If you don't want to know, stop watching now. So basically, it's going to be Negan coming to Alexandria. You know, the remaining members of the group try to keep it together. In Alexandria, Negan comes for the visit. Episode's going to be 90 minutes, so it's 25 minutes longer on the whatever, but it's a 90-minute episode. Season 7, Episode 4. If it was Season 6, Episode 4, that also was 90 minutes, which was the Morgan and Eastman episode, where we learned the story of Morgan and how crazy he was, and then his newfound philosophy. Basically, it's going to be Negan comes to town to get his shit. It's been 1 week time frame where Negan comes to get half your shit. So basically, Rosita and Spencer are going out to get some stuff for them. Eugene is fixing a little radio thing. Eugene doesn't want to open the gate for them. Meanwhile, their argument, they're talking about it. He doesn't want to go with Rosita. Rosita's not surprised. They're talking about it, and the Saviors come to town to knock on the gate to basically come in, and that's what the episode's going to be about, Negan and Alexandria. And I can't wait for it, personally, because it's going to be very interesting to set up the rest of the season, where Negan comes in, and these Alexandrians aren't going to know what the freak to do, because Negan and the Saviors, and there's a shit ton of Saviors on there, too, that come with them. So, and the Saviors aren't the only ones that come alone. They bring someone along. And who could that be? We'll talk about that in a second. But basically, Rick and them are at the gate, you know, for Negan's grand entrance, and Negan always has to do things in a grand way. Eugene's broken down too. Look at him, man. He's just ready to cry. He just looks like he's just sad, and he's just upset about everything, and he's just scared. Spencer, and they're building up Spencer for sure, because we all know in the comic books, Spencer gets, you know, a big story. Not really a big story, a big part that happens, and I don't want to give it away. Check out all the videos we talk about it. But basically, they're setting it up, and it better be done on the show, and I think it will, probably in the mid-season premiere. So basically, Rick's broken man. We don't know if it's going to be said like this in the trailer, where he says, we should have made a deal with them. I could see it being at the end of the episode when they leave. But let's talk about when the Saviors come in. A lot of freaking Saviors. Look at all these freaking people. You got guys, girls, people all dressed up, people like this, people with guns, a lot of weaponry, a big old army. And look to there. Who's that guy? It's a nobody Savior, but he looks like the guy from the Chappelle Show, Tyrone Biggums. I know it's not him, but just the hat and the outfit kind of is like, man, that's pretty close on there too. You know, the Savior's got some pretty good characters. And you got Cosplay Rick in the back there. Look at that beard. You could say like, yeah, man, I love this show. I love Rick, man. I go to those conventions. Walker Stalker. And then you got Daryl. It happens really fast. He just stands there and stops where all the Saviors walk in. And then you got babysitter Dwight. Dwight babysitting him to make sure he doesn't step out of line and do anything like that. So, and then it fades away. It happens really fast. This guy makes eye contact with Rick, or Rick's looking at Daryl or whatever and sees what it is. But there's a shit ton of Saviors. We had this picture over the summer, and it's right outside Alexandria on one of the side roads, and you can see the big old truck, and you see Dwight on Daryl's bike. That's definitely Daryl's bike. Daryl's bike is going to make an appearance, I guess. I don't know how they're bringing Daryl in, but we'll see how it goes down. You got Negan glaring at Rick. Rick's a broken man. Look at those eyes. You're just like, oh man, it's actually happening. Now in the trailer, you see this part, or the sneak peek, and you see Negan looking towards the front gate, or the outpost, and Rick's looking up there too. And I think walkers are coming, and I don't know what it would be, but Michonne just looks upset. Like Rick agreed for something. Rick agreed that it's going to affect Michonne. You can see in her face, like she's just like, what the hell, man? You know, it's pretty upset. So I'm interested to see what that's about. I don't know yet. She's firing off rounds from her rifle. I think that's the rifle she gets underneath the fireplace. It's like hidden away, and she takes that whatever. And I don't know if they take the rifle from her or whatever, or they take her katana, or I don't know what happens. But basically, she's shooting some rounds off of there, and I would think walkers are coming because they got motorcycles and all this shit in these trucks, and they attract all the sounds. Negan goes out with his Lucille and takes out a walker or two or whatever, so I think that's probably what that's about. And here, it's a scene that happens pretty quick. This jumped out at me right away, is that Daryl comes behind them, and I don't know if this is at the end or if this is when they're walking in and they're coming there, but if you look in the middle between Negan and Rick, you see Daryl right away, and we got babysitter Dwight, of course. But you know, it's got to be really tough for Daryl to be there and be thrown in his face that this is my house, but I'm not allowed to be here anymore. So what the hell is going on? So I'm really excited for this episode. I think it's going to be great. Besides the 90 minutes, how did Rosita get out? Did she get away? Did she doing something? Is she trying to escape to the hilltop or something? I don't know what's happening, but she's in the woods for some reason. Lucille's all bloody, so it probably had to be when Negan kills that walker. And Lucille is forced to be in Rick's hands throughout the episode to try and just rub it in his face. That's the bat that did that, and that's a really great picture over the summer of them filming. And it's going to be a great episode, I feel it, and I'm really excited for this one too. And I would assume this is at the end when they leave, where Rick's talking to the group and addressing the group, saying that, he's not in charge anymore, Negan's in charge. And that's got to be really tough because Rick's the man, and Rick is the man. He's going to get his mojo back, and it's going to come back around. It's just the story of there too, where you got the new kids in the school are trying to take over, but they're going to eventually get their ass whooped too. And I'm interested to see how this plays out because in the comics it's pretty entertaining and pretty disrespectful to Olivia, but we'll see how Negan actually is. Carl should be there. They have pictures of him. He's not in the trailer, but Carl, we'll see how he interacts with Negan. He's going to have some comic lines. We'll see. This is a breakdown over there. They flip-flopped episodes 2 and 3 for, thank God, because we needed some fun episode for episode 2. Episode 3 was kind of down in the dumps too. But episode 4, look at all those people there too. And I'm sure more will be there as well with Alexandrians. Going forward, here's a good breakdown of the list of the filming. I'm excited for it. They're still filming episodes 15 and 16. They're going to wrap it up probably in a week or so. So there you go, guys. Like, share, subscribe. Let us know what you think. Subscribe to get more videos. And you guys are awesome.